Hello to those who are watching. Today in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to really get started with VAPI the fastest way possible, or what I think is really the most important things that you need to know from my 7 months of experience of playing around with VAPI, building voice assistants not only for myself and my business, but for my clients and also for other agency owners who are incorporating voice AI into their projects, and also teaching new freelancers and agency owners who are really learning about automations, APIs, and webhooks, because that's really the foundation of using a platform like VAPI. Also, when it comes to, basically providing automations as a service or artificial intelligence as a service and things like that. And from a lot of consultations and things that I have, I've noticed that overwhelming majority of people who are using VAPI are not really tech savvy at all or have any knowledge of automations and knowing already if a platform integrates just based off API documentation and things like that. So I just wanted to talk about like a few things here that I think are just really important. And I promise they're going to help you get started with VAPI way faster than you think. I actually have like a whole course on this, but I'm not going to go through the whole course. I'm really just going to focus on like what's really important. The two main things are understanding static assistance and transit/dynamic assistance, and then also integrating that with visual databases like Google Sheets or Airtable, and also platforms like High Level and other things like that. So like without further ado, let's like really get started into it. And really quick, like what you need to get started with VAPI, like bare minimum, besides prompting knowledge, right? Besides some foundational knowledge of how APIs, webhooks actually work, right? There's a difference between knowing how these things work and just plugging in templates, or, you can use an automation platform and still not know the foundation of how the platform is built or what it does in the back end. You're going to need a VAPI account. You're going to need an automation platform, or a platform that gives you a server that can be Make, Zapier, Pabbly, Google Cloud, AWS, High Level. You're also going to need a large language model to help you out if you get stuck or troubleshoot maybe, which I think ChatGPT is kind of the best at doing this, specifically because I've created a GPT called My VAPI, which is entirely trained off the VAPI documentation, and it actually manages my entire VAPI account. What I'm going to show in part of this video, I actually do not use platforms like Postman or the VAPI dashboard or even the backend of VAPI, because I just have my GPT create everything that I need. And it actually inserts those things inside of my dashboard, or I paste it where I need to paste it in order to make outbound calls and do things like that. So we went over really quick, what do you need? Now let's get right into it. I'm going to log into my VAPI account, and really quick, I'm not really going to focus on the inside of the VAPI platform. Inside of the VAPI platform is very straightforward, very simple. You come here, you make an assistant, you give it a prompt, and we have certain fields where we can, modify and do things to this assistant. But that has nothing to really do with automating the process of using voice assistants, especially when it comes to integrating with your database or CRM. So what we need to actually do is come to the back end here to the documentation, and we need to click on API references. Now, VAPI has some of the best API documentation, and as a matter of fact, literally before this video, they just updated the documentation. So I thought it'd just be a really good time to come out with this video on, once again, what matters the most. And really what matters the most is creating a phone call, or this is one of the things that matters the most here on this page, is creating a phone call. And I'm going to show you why that's really important. Most people want to create a phone call from when something is entered in Google Sheets or their CRM, from any type of automation, whether it was a form filled out and it went to the Google Sheet or to the CRM, whether they insert those leads and put a tag on them or whatever the case may be. So why this page is really important is because we're going to use this as a framework. I'm going to show you why this is the framework to automating a lot of the things that you're going to do. So when you're signed in already, your authorization token is going to be here. I don't care if you see mine, I'm going to change it later. And we need to fill out this long thing here that doesn't seem like it makes sense, but I'll show you that it's really easy and it's not that scary at all. So we need a name here. And just really quick, if you hover over the I here, it's going to give you a good amount of information about what's here. And then also these little red asterisks are things that you're supposed to fill out. Now, even though I just said that, there's some that we're going to skip over because we don't need to fill them out. And because we didn't select something before that, we also still don't need to fill it out. It's not mandatory. It may not really make sense, and I'm sorry, but visually, when you see it, maybe it will as well. And then also, once again, we're not using any assistance from the dashboard. So you won't see me fill out an assistant ID or do anything like that. It's going to be, I'm going to show you how this is a base for your transient / dynamic assistant. So this is going to be the name of the call. And I'm just going to put example VAPI call. No name of the assistant. Now we need to set the transcriber for the assistant, which is going to be DeepGram. We're going to put Nova. We're going to put the language for this. The format is false. And some of these that are blank, you don't have to fill out. I'm just filling them out because it's something that I'm used to and I know. So we have the model here. And actually, we're going to put this model to Open AI. We're not going to put any messages, any tools, or any tools ID. We're just going to select a provider, which is OpenAI. And then we want that provider to be GPT 4.0. We can select a fallback model. We're not going to do that. Semantic caching. So another thing, some of these eyes will have something called add example value, and it will add whatever is there right now. So I'm going to keep scrolling. This is another example. We don't have a knowledge base. We're not picking that. So even though it's red, we can skip right past it and everything is still going to work. I'm going to set the tokens at 250. And then this is like the emotion detector, right? So if I click on here, it's going to talk about how it can like just get emotion and stuff like that. I'm actually gonna put false. It's not really important. Same thing for voice. Once again, I can select my voice provider. I'm actually gonna put 11 labs. I'm gonna put true for a lot of this information. I'm actually just gonna put click here to show you what I was talking about with the example values. Bam, so we can fill all that out. I need to put a provider, which is 11 labs. The voice ID, I'm just gonna select Marissa. And why not? I'll fill out all of this extra information here. For the model, I'm not going to pick any model. It's fine. For the first message, I want the assistant to speak. I want the recording to be enabled. I don't want any HIPAA. And we're going to skip past all this stuff here. We're going to skip past the voicemail detection, the voicemail message, the analysis plan, the structured data, the artifact. We're going to skip past all that. We're going to do this one more time with the assistant override. So we're going to do Nova 2 again, the language. I'll pick wrong one, US. Smart format is false. I'm going to change this to OpenAI. The provider I want, OpenAI. The model I want is GPT 4.0. I'm just going to put temperature. I mean, for, oh, sorry. I actually didn't want to put that. I don't want to put a temperature. Just want to put max tokens. And for the voice again, I'm going to put 11 labs. Share all that up. Provider, 11 labs. Voice ID, Marissa. Stability. And once again, I'm doing this specifically because I'm selecting 11 labs and I'm playing around. A lot of these fields you don't have to all the way fill out, but of course, like you probably would because you want to customize your assistant to be the best way that it can be. So my assistant's going to speak first. I have this information here, false. Can scroll past this. The first message is going to be, hello, Tyler. This is a VAPI assistant calling you. Gonna skip that, skip all this stuff. We don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need that. We do need a phone number ID, and that phone number ID actually comes from your phone number right here. It's not attached to something, so I can come right here, paste this. I don't have to enter any information there. We don't have a customer ID, and we never will, so that's fine. I need to add a number here. Add my number, and then I'm going to just add my name. Let me do that just for saving information. So when you do all that, we're going to press send. This is going to spin up, and when you come down here, it's going to show you that if this was successful or not. So this right here, I messed up somewhere. System model temperature must not be less than 8. And it's kind of why we don't fill out everything when we do stuff. System model number in the override. So it's this right here. Sometimes it's like always sets for some reason, no matter what, once you like tap into it, which is weird. So let's press send again. Pretty sure that one's going to be successful. My phone's going to start ringing probably. Yep. And here we have my phone ringing, right? Now, if you stayed for that grueling part of the video, you'll see why this is really important. Now that this phone call that was created, we have this data here on the left side. It doesn't matter what type of code you do this in. Once you fill out this here for creating the phone call, you can grab this information from this bracket all the way down to this bracket, exactly like this. You don't copy these little quotation marks. And when you grab this, you're able to make calls outbound and put in dynamic data. I'm going to show you what I mean here, right? And I want to clarify really quick. Most videos that you see right now, when you are inside of Make, they are using the HTTPS module to make the call, and nothing's wrong with that. What I'm showing you is different. We're making the call inside of said platform, if that makes sense, right? So I'm going to log into a platform called AI Table here that I use, and then I'm going to show you this on 4 other platforms. So like I said, this is really the most important part. Now, mind you, even though I just created this, I'm not going to grab any of this here because I already have this set up in multiple places and things like that. So what I'm going to do is log into my AI Table account. Now, I have a lot of things going on in my AI table. That's fine. But I'm going to come to what I have, what's called here is my VAPI community project. If you don't know about this, that's fine. I have other videos coming out about this, and it'll be also a part of my community. What this is one way that I manage and deploy everything that I do with VAPI. I also built a template library that I choose from that are actually built upon 80 different industries that I have served and go high level and stuff like that. really, really fun. So really quick, once again, coming to like what's really important is that I'm going to come here to basically a spreadsheet. And I call it a spreadsheet because that's all this is. Visual database is a Excel spreadsheet on steroids, or a Google Sheet on steroids. One of the reasons why you won't see a lot of my content like starting off in Google Sheets. I just don't use it. There's no point. It's really no scalability to it. That's my personal preference. I'm not saying go get AI table or anything like that. That's just me. But inside of AI table, I'm able to do automations within AI table. Right. Once again, I'm not making this call and make. So if I come here to this automation, how I have this set up. Let's just say, for instance, I can have dynamic information here, right? So from the field, just like anything else, if I was in high level or anything else, I'm mapping information and I'm able to make this call. And how I have this set up right here is actually pretty simple. So when a record matches a condition, and that's basically a status. And the reason why I was checking that is because I have that field hidden. I thought I had that field. Am I being blind here really quick? Yeah, it's right here, being slow. So if I click status, it's actually going to make a call. Now this gave me an error, which actually makes sense because the API was updated, but it's fine. I have other ways that I do this as well. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do this from actually a script. If you don't know what a script is, it's totally fine. But I still want to show you that I'm doing this from within the platform. This is just a different way. So what I'm actually doing is I'm going to show like what's happening here really quick. So if you read this little console thing, you'll see what's happening. So I've pressed next. So let's run this again. What I'm doing is selecting a data sheet. So think of this scenario is when you have VAs or when you have other people who are actually going through a process, and all of this is not fully automated. People do have things set up like that. What this is going to do is select the information. So I've selected the name and the phone number, even though it's going to pull all the information anyway. I'm going to be able to select this spreadsheet. And when I click call here, I'm going to see what happens, all this information. And then my phone's going to start ringing. Right. So this is happening within the platform. And of course, after that phone call happens, I can bring all of that information back into the platform. So for example, if I come here to this spreadsheet called VAPI tracking, here's all the information from those phone calls. Now it's not from that phone call specifically, it's not from other phone calls, but you can have all that information saved here. Now, really quick, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Airtable. Thank God I'm already logged in Airtable. I don't have to log in there. I'm going to come to a workspace. I'm going to come to VAPI testing. And it's the same thing, my name with my phone number. I'm going to run a script because we're also able to run scripts inside of here. This is one reason why I just think VAPI is really great and kind of superior to other platforms because they use, you have a lot of ways to manipulate things and make calls and do stuff. It's just really amazing. And I'm accidentally calling myself right now. Again, running that script because I can just press run here. I can select the record. It's going to select this record with all of this information. Then it's going to make a call. I'm going to see that information. Then my phone's going to ring again. Right now, let's go with a Google Sheets next. So I'm going to open up this spreadsheet. Same thing is the name and then a phone number. And what I've done is once again, create another app with JavaScript. And it's the same thing like as the JSON, right? I just did the same thing with JavaScript. Now I want to be specific here. Let me actually duplicate this tab just in case later on in this video I want to come back to that. I did the same thing that I just heard filling this out. I just did it with JavaScript because visual databases allow you to have JavaScript in them, right? So I filled out all of this information. It gave me everything in JavaScript. then I copy that and I use that. And I guess I'll show you that in a minute. But let's go to Google Sheets, right? And this is a script coming from Google Sheets. Let me change this. Let's run this. Same thing. Call was successful. And here's my phone ringing, right? Now, once again, I'm not like going through all the phone calls. I'm not going through that. I'm just giving you the basic because this is what you need to make your information dynamic. And you can do this within the platform if that happens. Now, if that didn't make sense, hopefully this is going to click because for a lot of people, high level is like the only thing that makes sense for some reason. So I'm going to log into one of my clients' high level accounts and then I'm going to show this really quickly. So we're going to come here. What I'm actually going to do is just go to contacts really quick. And what I can do is just search up my name. We have Test Thailand right here. And really quick, just so I don't always have to keep going back and forth, I'm going to duplicate this tab. Going to come down to automations. So we're going to come here to VAPI tutorial. Super simple here. We're going to scroll down. Here I have a tag that says AI call. I remove that tag. I add that tag. And let's see. 3, 2, 1. There's my phone ringing. Right? If I come into this here, I don't know why this is go high level. Why do you do that? Why do you think I want to be like magnifying glass into that? I can go into my execution logs and I can see this firing here. Right? I can see the enrollment history. I can see all of that stuff. And with that same information, right? That same, this stuff here, right? Which is what I grabbed from here, right? Is what I inserted here. And where do you think the contact name and the phone number and any other pieces of information I want to put for it to have here, such as custom fields and whoop blah, 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 all that stuff will be there, right? Now, next, let's go to, what else did I do? We're going to come to forms. Here we have the AI contact us. So that's not what I want to do. So slow when it comes to go high level sometimes because I definitely don't use forms. It's so ugly. Do this for you guys. Do this for the content. So this is not even the right form that I just clicked on. Okay, sweet. Thank you. I'm like, what? Okay, preview. So, this is probably gonna, did I see my execution log? Okay, Thailand Miller 95. That's what I have on there. I just don't want to make it like a new contact. So, test Thailand, email, Thailand, this right here. Hoopla is my message. But just to make sure this, right? I'm gonna make sure because you guys are gonna be like, nah, 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 nah. Not just playing, you guys aren't gonna be like that. But I'm gonna come back here to this. My name. Sorry, forgot my name is Test Thailand. Okay, test tiling. Let's remove this tag. Press send. And I wonder, let's see. There we go. Here's my phone number. Right, so this showed you how to do one of the most important things, which is basically whenever you have an automation trigger that the person is going to be called, and you don't have to specifically trigger that in make for your information to be dynamic or even for a transient assistant. That's one of the most important things. The next important thing is when it comes to function calling and doing other things like that. So I'm logged into my make account here. And what I'm going to do is actually go to, because I'll showcase two scenarios here. I'll showcase one that I actually just kind of edited and used really quick to show some type of functionality. Actually, I need to go to all scenarios. And I didn't label this or name this, so I wonder where it is, if I can find it. Oh, wow, really? That's funny. I've been building automations and for some reason I just can't find it. You guys are in luck this video. Let's create a new scenario. You guys are in luck. Let's do this. Import a blueprint. This has been shared by somebody who I honestly think should be selling this to you guys. It's totally fine. This is going to book a Google Calendar. But what I'm going to do really quick is actually add a module here. And what I'm going to do is I need another Google Calendar here. Because what I need this Google Calendar to do is create an event. Going to select my account. Create the event in detail. There's all this stuff here. I'm actually just going to, okay, calendar ID. It's my calendar. The event name, because it like has information already, which is only one, which is only find time, which makes sense. But I'm going to change actually some of this information. And this is actually going to go into like function calling next and some other things, right? So the event name, I'm just going to put some information here. Like, yeah, I knew it was going to tell me this was wrong and some other stuff. It's totally fine though. Just going to press OK. Oh, fine. I'll just press cancel for right now. And that's going to be right there. What I want to do is actually, I'm going to choose a webhook here because I already have this webhook created. No, I don't. Anyway, it's fine. So add, this is going to be VAPI tutorial. And now this webhook is waiting for information. So what we need to do is when we have an assistant, now I know I just showed how to make a transient assistant, right? But I'm going to go back to the dashboard really quick just to make it make sense right now, because once again, this is foundational. So in my dashboard, I have the assistant that I made that's called new assistant, but it's basically a template of Leo. And in this template of Leo, I have a function. This function is called book calendar. It's going to book on the Google Calendar. Now, when you make a function, very simple. Everything needs parameters, right? Basically, in order to book a calendar, what do you need? You need the person's name, you need the person's email, you need the person's phone number. You probably need the day of the meeting as well, right? This is the information that's going to make this function, right, to the API call, which is basically the Google Calendar. Right now, I had a webhook here already before, but what I'm going to do is take this webhook here so I can send information to this, and then you're going to literally see me build this automation, right? So I'm coming back here. I'm going to replace this. I'm going to publish it. I'm going to open it back up, and then I'm going to go to setup make. I'm going to send some sample information. So I'm going to type in my name. Bam. I'm going to type in my number, and then I'm going to put the day of the meeting, which is June 19th at 2 a.m. So I'm going to send that data. I've sent that data. It's gotten that data. What I'm only going to do is run. That makes sense. So I don't know why it actually. Value must not be empty. Okay. Google Calendar was doing that, so that's fine. Oh, you know what, guys? I'm having a slow moment really quick. Let's do this. Sorry. Connect all my accounts here. So let's connect that. Let's connect ChatGPT. Bam. Now notice those already have instructions. I'm going to get to that later. This JSON actually has no data right here and all that stuff. We'll get to that later. Same thing for this one right here too. We'll get to that later. Right now, I just want to run this module. And I forgot to connect this Google account too. And I actually need to change this to my calendar. Bam. Okay, so I forgot. Connect all those things before you start doing what I'm doing, right? So add your webhook. We're going to run this module, right? And what I've done, I've already sent data, but I'm going to send data again. That's received data, right? So I have a message, I have a function call. Within that function call, I have parameters. Those are the parameters that I just talked about. The next one would be Chat GPT, right? Now, there are already instructions here. And I'm not going to get too much into these instructions, but it's basically like saying, hey, you need to pull these instructions in JSON and give a certain time. And right now it says like the start time must always be between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. just to give like context of what's going to happen later, because some people might think that this is wrong and broken. And also I can see like what I'm going to need here, even though it's missing and I changed it, which is fine time, but I already know what I want to map here. So for example, in this first one, the time would just be that date that I put at the bottom, the day of the meeting. So I can press OK, and then I can actually run this module. And what I'm actually going to do, I know it kind of seems backwards. It's fine. It's something that I'm used to. I can come here and I actually want to take like all this information that I have here. So I'm always going to do this. And I'm going to put the day of the meeting. I'm going to have this run. This runs, it gets the information and the day of the meeting, right? And then we can have the same thing happen for this. Right, so this is going to look for what the result was, and the result was these two. So I can put that here, press OK. It's going to run that JSON and give us the start time and that right there. Then in Google Calendar, I have the start time and the end time and like already populated, right? So we can stop, run this module. All right, so I can say the start time was this. Hopefully it doesn't give me an error because I'm like over copying some stuff right now. I'll put this. Yeah, I knew I was going to do that. God damn it. So sorry. Hold on. Let me do that over. Start time. Hey, don't do that. Anyway, okay. Hey, whoa. Let me slow down. Let me slow down a bit. Let's run this back. It's because I messed up once and now nothing has the data. So I'm sorry, guys. So we ran this. We put the date inside of here, right? And then what we're going to do is copy this result so it knows how to parse the data, right? Because like it's saying create a data structure, but we're not going to do that. We can just run this module and put the data structure inside. It's going to run that, right? And then, right, so it's actually this right here is what I was supposed to put, and I didn't when I run this. So I'm supposed to put that start time at the bottom right here, not in the brackets. I apologize, guys. It's 4:30 in the morning, so you get a couple things wrong. Press OK. This ran. And for some reason, my computer's dying, so let me put this on the charger. And actually, what I need to do is I actually need to add another module. It's not what I need to do, not add a router. Yeah, add another module, which is Google Calendar, which is create an event. Calendar ID. The event name is just for this. I'm going to put the person's first name, meeting. This is not an all day event. This is the start time. Oh, you know what? This is doing like the date. I think I might get this part messed up real quick, or if I do something, but it's totally fine. I'll remember a little later. Why did I do this? I press advanced because I want to set a Google Meet to be right here, and then you can set like other things if you want. Obviously, the attendee, like if I wanted to set the email here. So this is not a real email. It's not why I'm gonna set it. But I can do all that stuff here. Put a description, etc. I think that's all I need. We can connect this. So what I can do is run this. Why is it asking me for my username? That's fine. Let's run this module. It's asking for my username. Then it's asking for those start times, which was, maybe I can put that. Yeah. And they'll actually book something. So we'll actually see this day is June 19th, 2024 at 4. And then if I actually come to my calendar, June 19th, here we go. Thailand at Otaku Solutions meeting this book. Now I know this time zone is crazy, but it's because I didn't like modify or do anything. I'm just showing you like this automation being built and it being booked and stuff like that. So here's JSON. We can run this module. I just need to put my calendar. So it's going to do my name. Come here to ChatGPT. We need to run this module, which is my name. I think I remember that. I think I'm doing this right. I don't remember. Press OK. Whoa, what just happened? I don't think that's supposed to happen. Was that supposed to happen? What is this right here? Yeah. This was not, I was not supposed to put this right here. It was supposed to be like the example of the JSON string. So actually what happens here, because this is actually like really important. I'm not going to edit this or do this right now, but what happens in this original automation is that it whatever time that they say it finds the time, it's going to give like multiple times from this calendar to see what's available. And then in a JSON string, return multiple times here from that. I'm not sure if you're supposed to put both of these or whatever. I did this earlier, but I promise you I do not remember right now. So I apologize. So let's run this again. And that JSON string I can't even put right here. So it's fine. It's totally fine. It's kind of bad for me doing that right now. So I want to say that out loud, but it's fine. We're going to run this and the result, I'm actually not going to do anything for this last part. I'm just going to run this live. What we're going to do is come back here. And you're not going to be able to hear this action. Just, how are you doing, Leo? I'd actually like to set up a meeting to have an inspector come so I can have my home upgraded into a smart home. Yeah, I would like to schedule my home inspection for June 30th at 3 o'clock p.m. Yes, ma'am. My name is Tylen Miller. My email address is tylenmiller at gmail.com. My phone number is 1-680-356-5600. Yes, that's correct. I appreciate that. You have a wonderful day as well. So let's come to the calendar. Let's come here to June 30th. And here we see June 30th. Let me just switch. Yep. Nope. 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 Let's go back. Uh-oh, wrong thing. June 30th. Here we have that. Now, if you're wondering why like this section is here from 8 to 3, that's what I was talking about. Like in the first model, in the first ChatGPT module, the instructions are making it search for like certain times, but I also haven't specified like how long this is supposed to be. That's why it's that long in like the hours. And you can actually, I believe, specify that right here when we come to like the duration of how long that it is. I just did not put that. So this is showing this happening on a Google Calendar. And actually, really quick, just for kind of some funs and giggles, let me go into another client account. And I hate when this does that sometimes. Can you let me switch? Okay. Okay. Let's go into this go high level and then okay, it should be this one. You're not going to hear this as well, but it's fine. Hi, how are you doing? I'd like to book an appointment at the med spa. Yeah, my name is Taisha O'Neill. Yeah, my email address is Taisha O'Neill at yahoo.com. My phone number is 323-202-3982. I like to book the day and time on June 30th at 12 a.m. Yeah, I would like to do maybe June 25th at 10 a.m. That's perfect. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Bye bye. So actually, what I forgot to do is actually just press run on here to like actually look at this being done, and it actually gave an error, which is fine. I'm pretty sure I know what that error is, and I actually just like want to show this. This has been successful before, but yeah, invalid email address for the email, probably because what I said, that email actually was like not a real email, so it wouldn't have worked anyway. That makes actual sense. Now, really quick, yeah. It looks like it was a terrible email that didn't work. So, you know what? Let's do this again really quick. Hello, Anna. I'd like to set an appointment to come to the med spa. My first name is Taisha O'Neill. My email address is wphighlevel at gmail.com. My phone number is 323-202-3982. Can I set up the appointment for how's June 23rd at 9 a.m. sound? I appreciate that so much. Thank you. You have a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye bye. So, really quick, I'm just curious if I got my email correct. That'd be funny if it did, which it should, but WP high level is like, I wouldn't expect that to get that right. But we can actually check though. So, see what we got when I said that. Oh, no, I did get WP high level at gmail.com. You got it right. That's funny. I guess this isn't set to send maybe like a meeting link or something like that. I actually got it right completely, 100%. That isn't my account. This is actually like a client's account, somebody I built something for, but I think maybe they turned it off because we were doing some troubleshooting and testing and other things like that. Huh. Well, we showed Google Calendar and we've shown a high level being booked. That's not my high level account, so I can't log in. I apologize, but you can see it being successfully ran through all of these scenarios. And what this basically does is when somebody wants to book in for a calendar that it it'll check to see if the slots are available, and then it will create the booking, and it'll also double check to see if the person is a contact already or if they need to create a new contact inside of high level. And yes, this is using V2 authentication. No, I'm not using a marketplace app because I have a custom app here which uses basically it skips past and bypasses all that to make all of those things easier. What else do I think is really important? So I've showed you guys how to create a call, how to trigger those calls within any platform. When you trigger those calls within any platform, you're able to use that data dynamically for whatever it is. I don't think I really need to like go into that, but you can just map the information inside of there and it's going to work. There is something else that I did think was important, but for some reason it's slipping my mind. It's not my VAPI GPT or anything like that. Wow, I'm upset that that's skipping my mind. Can I remember what else do I think is super important? Oh yeah, that's what I was going to show. It just came back to me. So one last thing, go back into my account. This always does this sometimes. It's so weird. I'm going to come to some scenarios, come to server, and actually what I'm going to come to this automation really quick. What I want to show is like information going inside of here being updated with tracking information and stuff. Because I know like for some reason people have a problem with this as well. And to explain this is very simple. I take the call, right, the call information after the call, and then I use that to update the records. I don't do that during the call because that it just kind of doesn't make sense to do it that way, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is actually run this because I should have some data right here. And let's just watch this run. The reason why I have a sleep timer here is that if you try to pull the data from the call that you just had, that information you're trying to pull, it's not going to populate all the way. VAPI just needs a little bit of time, a few seconds to populate that data, such as like the URL, the share URL, and all of that other stuff there. So I can come here. We can see that this just got put right here. I can see information. I can see how much the call costs. I can see the assistant that was tied to that. I can see the recording link. I can see the transcript. I can see the summary and the end call reason. And if I wanted the analysis, I could have that as well. So I'm just going to keep running this. I thought I had another call right there to actually do something, but I guess not. Let's come back into mine really quick. Is this Emma right here? Yeah, I think this is. Let's see. Yeah, I would love to set up a meeting to talk about automating my business. I like to schedule the meeting on June 19th at 8 o'clock a.m. if that's possible. Yeah, I just want to talk about how I can automate my business and bring in more leads with automations. I'm kind of struggling at the moment. Yes. Yes, that's correct. No, no, no. That's all. I appreciate it. Thank you. So hopefully I was looking at the right automation because I have a lot of these. I'm going to run this one more time. Yeah, there's data. So the reason why this kept happening and this automation didn't run is because what's happening on this server is that it's like always receiving a status update. So it's trying to do something, but that information has not come through. And that's fine. I think actually it's good to have it set up like that so I could explain that to you guys. You don't always need the server to send messages here. You can only you can specify if you only want this to be the function or whatever. But what this is just getting the information after that call and then updating that information. So what this is going to do is wait a little bit, and then we should see that information just come from that call that I just did a few seconds ago. And we just seen that pop up. What's there? Actually, yeah, more data. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's wait again. That's not my rooster, by the way. That's my neighbor. So apologize. I know that's like super random. Huh. So for some reason, I think it's stuck in a loop. Stuck in a loop. If I would have put new data, like this data right here that I just did, then that would have worked. But I think you guys kind of get the gist. It's fine. Once again, I like showing errors and errors happening sometimes because, like, even though a lot of us who make content on here, like we run through errors and stuff all the time. And a lot of people think that like they have to be on our level to know these things and understand these things, and that's not the case. So just a recap, because we're actually at an hour. Did not think this video was going to be that long or expect it to, but I hope that was a very good like kind of explanation or different perspective on like the core things that you like definitely need to focus on, and you have the ability to like already make phone calls within a platform. You can send that data back into the platform, making function calls. I'm not going to say that's easy, but hopefully me showing you what I did with that Google automation gives you a premise of like what the function call would be and how you set up parameters and do those other things like that. This course that I'm showing right here, I'm actually going to fully publish this, but it's actually going to be inside of my paid community that I have called No Code preneurs, which actually is going to launch today in actually a couple of hours on this Sunday on the 16th. And No Code preneurs is basically a community platform that I am educating and also giving resources when it comes to automations and AI in a plethora of different ways across marketing, sales, support, custom integrations, finance, human resources, IT, and products. And there'll be a lot of bonuses there, such as an automation course, exclusive workshops, the resource library. Resource library basically includes automation templates, whether they're inside of Google, Airtable, AI Table, or high level, and prompting templates and other things like that. There'll be Q&A sessions from other experts inside of the area and stuff. We'll focus on custom GPTs, chatbots, voice assistant, AI agents, and other things. Also, just to clarify on this, the main thing is even though there are a lot of cool things that we can build, when you join the community, we're only going to focus on one or two things for you to build to develop those foundational skills for you to build other things as well. There's also going to be other bonuses such as platforms that I have called Leasy, which is going to streamline your lead generation, cold email marketing, and other things like that. I will be developing a partnership with a company called FlowChat, which is going to allow you to manage all your leads from like all your social platforms and things like that. And then you also receive a personal invite to my Make account, my Make Enterprise account, basically where you don't have to worry about automations. We will upload automations, manage automations, and build for you, and you'll have access actually to all of the templates that we'll be building inside of there. And I'm not showing this yet, but I have something coming out called the AI automation table platform that's going to be available first to people who are in this community. And basically, you're going to have an invite to my AI table account with your own folder, which gives you a limited amount of space where you can also invite clients or also teammates or VAs. And you're going to be able to have all these same templates, automations, and deploy automations to your Make account from AI table. It's going to be really cool and amazing stuff that's going to be coming first there. And another thing that's important is that people are also going to learn how to build their own SaaS products from these things as well. So maybe your own white labeled interface and other things, not just focusing on one aspect. And this is not a free community. This is a paid community. It'll be $97 a month. That price will be changing after the first 50 or maybe 100 people. But I would like to have people who are very serious, motivated, and ready to invest in actually having support, a community, and resources and tools for them to really get started when it comes to building automation or artificial intelligence solutions, no matter what form they may be in. So this will be open in a couple hours. Probably going to take a nap. And when I wake up from that nap, I'm going to make this fully live. But I hope this has been a great video coming full round back to VAPI and things like that. Next, I'm going to be showcasing a video of using what I called earlier the My VAPI GPT. And this is basically how I manage and do everything with the VAPI dashboard. And that doesn't make sense. If you don't know, custom GPTs, you're able to attach to outside platforms. And for instance, these are APIs that I showed you that were here on this page where I'm actually able to create a phone call or create an assistant or get information from a call and do all of those other things. And the pro version of this is also going to be available to people who join the community. So I'll show you how to make your own GPT where you can manage your VAPI account or also for your clients to make the process of making voice assistants way much easier, along with a framework that can be automated, which is really, really cool. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I will talk to you later and enjoy.